Dude, you're the neighbor I wish I had. If I saw you roll your garage door up, I'd be like, who's that guy? Because I want to be his friend.
Yeah, that's what ends up happening. The funny thing is all of my neighbors here have motorcycles except for that guy. But yeah, everybody's
Dude, mine too. There's like 6 on my block. There's some sort of energetic ley line that we all want to live on.
More and more motorcyclists on the road, and everybody's congregating together.
And then this is your bomb-ass Scrambler.
The bike that started it all.
This was the bike that started it all?
Yep, got me on the road and made me what I am today.
We were talking about how badass your blinkers are, and these are stock, and you had to sign a waiver that says like, oh, by the way, these aren't up to code.
Yes, and I promised to replace them before they get inspected.
Yeah, because I'm sure your local inspector would be like, these aren't gonna work.
As long as they turn on and blink, right? It should be good. That's what I say.
How did this bike start at all?
This bike was the first bike I saw when I was Googling motorcycles that caught my eye. It just has the classic look. And I'll be honest, the motorcycle that I originally wanted to get was the bike that was featured in the later Tron movie made in the mid-2000s. So it was a Ducati Super Sport Classic 1000 by Posto. And that thing was just so clean. I was looking for one when I was looking around for my first bike. And unfortunately, the only one I could find was a few hundred miles away in another state. And that got picked up pretty quickly. That model is it's a quick one. Everybody grabs it as soon as they can find one. So then I came across this guy on the Ducati website, and it was the closest thing to the retro lines and the look and aspect of the bike, and it just so clean. 800 cc, 77 horsepower, everything you could want in a nice, cruising motorcycle go around and enjoy the town on.
I'm jealous because I had a Scrambler. I had the green Urban Enduro, the 800cc one too. It didn't have bomb-ass mirrors like that or bomb blinkers. This is way cleaner. All right, let's go get some Japanese comfort food on this wickedly kind of crappy day, because we planned a ride because it was supposed to be nice out, and here we are. It's cloudy, it's cold, and it's raining. So
yeah, the weather report. It's interesting. Being a meteorologist is the only job that you can be wrong at 99% of the time and still have your job, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I want to live in the time where we can control the weather, but we're not there yet. Which bike do you ride the most?
Right now the Monster has the most miles on it with about 3,000. This guy's in second with 28. And then the S1000's only got about 960, but I've mentioned this before, the upright seating positions just suits me so much better as far as comfortability goes, so I tend to gravitate towards these two bikes.
And if you're like most humans, you have some sort of herniation in your lower lumbar spine, so we all get back. I can't ride them either for that exact reason. This is kind of the how it is. I totally forgot to introduce you, Kevin, by the way. I was too enamored with all the bikes in your sweet, sweet garage. But this is Kevin. We work together.
Hey.
Look at it. Yay. We're taking a ride. Alright. And obviously we don't ever get to ride together.
Yeah, this is a treat. Thanks for inviting me today.
Yeah, dude. Kevin, what is your origin story?
My origin story.
Your origin story into motorcycling. You saw the Tron movie.
Yeah, so motorcycling has always kind of caught my interest, and it's been something that I've wanted to do for so long, but I've never had a friend group or anybody that had a bike that was accessible to me to be able to just hop on and learn. So it very much fell out of reach for the longest time, and so with the way everything was going the last few years and a lot of us being stuck inside, I was just really looking for something to do to get me out and kind of allow me to escape my headspace and kind of just live in the moment. And so upon my endless nights of YouTubing, I came across the Yami Noob channel, and there was a video that Spite had made, Jake, and it was you know, how to ride a motorcycle, and you know, I think it was like 5 minutes or 5 easy steps. And I watched, and the explanation, the content, everything was so put well together. It made the experience look so easy and approachable, and it's essentially what gave me the confidence to say, okay, you know what, this doesn't look terrifying, this looks, you know, mechanically easy, and it's very similar to a manual vehicle, you know, if you're driving on the road. So the whole thought process is pretty much the same. You just have to do it with your hands as opposed to your feet. So I waddled myself into the Ducati dealership, and sure enough, Greg over there, the Austin location, was able to show me a couple models, and as soon as I sat on this Scrambler, it was done. I was sold. I loved the profiling of the bike. I loved how the weight felt, and I just loved how everything looked from the aesthetics point of view. And so
that was your first bike?
That was my first motorcycle ever. I bought it, and I had them deliver it to me. And I don't usually recommend this method, but if you can, it's always best to have a friend that has a motorcycle take you to maybe like an empty parking lot or whatnot. But because of the circumstance of my life and everything that I've ended up where I am, I didn't have many friends or whatnot to really hit up or ask for any assistance. So it's just kind of, well, if I want to do this, I got to dive right head in first. So at the time I was living in downtown Austin, and we had a pretty decent sized parking garage. And so what I would do is I would sneak out to the parking garage around 3-4 a.m. every night for the first week, and I would just practice going in circles, 5, not even 10 miles an hour, just practicing going from first to second gear and back down, and just really getting a feel for like how the gearing works, how the clutch works, how the throttle works. And then eventually, after a week of feeling confident, I had scheduled my MSF course and went and got my motorcycle license officially. And from then on, I pretty much rode almost every day. It's an addiction, and it still is, and it's that itch. Once you get it, you can't stop scratching it. You just want to keep riding every day, every chance, every reason you can. Oh, I gotta go check the mail, might as well take my motorcycle to the...
Dude, you're a real one too, for just like buying the Scrambler. This is my first bike, I will learn all by myself, I will figure this out. I mean, that takes some like big balls. I have a similar story too. It's like, I didn't know anybody with a motorcycle or anybody to help teach me. It's just like you find a nice big patch of lonely pavement and you just go for it.
That's awesome. Yeah, so unfortunately my father had passed when I was pretty young, around 1 year old, and my mom never really remarried or anything. So when it came to kind of acquiring that knowledge that's normally passed down from you know, generation to generation through you know, just the father-son interactions and teachings, all that knowledge I had to either get from, you know, having friends that had awesome fathers, or actually YouTube. Funny enough, you know, as I mentioned,
yeah,
I spent a lot of time just looking for instructional videos and stuff, and so I've kind of gotten used to, if I want to learn something or do something, I have to do it. I have to figure it out. I got to find the resource of the person that can guide me and just dive head in. And honestly, as much as it sucks not having you know, a father around for most of my life, it's given me the ability to adapt to a lot of situations and just put myself in opportunities or places that I normally probably wouldn't have if I wasn't in that situation. And so yeah, it's kind of been an adventure, and I kind of look at motorcycling as that next chapter in that adventure, and it's been such a cool story, and I can't wait to see where it takes me. It's literally just, you know, every day is a surprise, and you meet the coolest people too along the way. And I think that's one of the things that surprised me the most, is how awesome the people are, the men and women in the motorcycling community can be, and you know, it's really like an inclusive community that I'm proud to be a part of.
So what's really cool is like you permeated the lack of father influence and like found it yourself, which is so cool. And I think so much of us have absent dads, or like my dad was an addict for 15 years too, so he just like wasn't around. And you either try to find the shit that you think is going to be super cool to like find, I guess, like that masculine energy balance, or you don't, or you don't thrive at all. And nothing, it's almost like the motorcycle is the best replacement for a father figure. Because it's intimidating, it gets you motivated, you have to be sort of disciplined, you have to be responsible to a degree. I used it as like anti-anxiety because it's something, your brain is so involved in the process. There's no time to sit in your car and like have a panic attack and ruminate.
Right. Yeah, I think two things I can attribute to helping me out greatly with that absence is contact team sports. Contact team sports, playing ice hockey growing up most of my life really allowed me to understand the importance of teamwork, camaraderie, and just manning up. You know, when you're getting pounded by someone twice your size, you know, you just gotta suck it up and get over it. And also the internet, YouTube, it's insane now how much resources are out there and how much knowledge is being shared from legitimate resources that can really help further your career or help you pivot to a new career or find interests that you didn't think you might have had before. And so I never thought that I would be telling people, hey, by the way, my job is with a YouTube channel. And when I say that, people always give me this look like, what? A YouTube channel? What do you mean? Like, how does that work? And you know, it's interesting to just really see how the landscape of like jobs and what a job is has changed over time, you know?
Yeah, I have almost quit the YouTube thing so many times because it's super negative. You get all sorts of flack for like, I don't know, you could do anything wrong or say the wrongest word and people like pile you on about it. And I'm like, man, this just isn't worth it. I just want to ride and have fun. But the reason that I keep doing it and, you know, don't give up is I get so many messages of like, my ex-girlfriend started riding because of you, or my daughter wants to ride because she saw a video. And it's like, oh, that's all I have to do is just show up on a video and somebody might see it, and that's enough inspiration to get more people on bikes. It's like, that's totally worth it. Yes,
I think you're right. It's really, really important for people to see how accessible it is and how easy it is. Just anybody can get on a motorcycle and learn to ride if you really have the time and patience to do it. And it's not this super difficult, crazy, daunting thing. You know, if you've ridden a bicycle growing up, you can essentially translate most of those skills to a motorcycle. You just need to incorporate a few other important aspects of safety and whatnot. But yeah, just seeing somebody able to do something that you didn't think you could do is powerful and allows them to hopefully break out of their comfort zone and try new things.
Switching gears a little bit, but what led you to buy your next two bikes? I'm not exactly sure what came next for you, the Monster or the...
It was the Monster.
Ah.
So, you know, the common thing happens. You learn how to ride and you get really good at it, and inevitably you want to go faster. You see the MotoGP racers, you see the World Superbike racers, even the Moto3 and Moto2 guys, and you're just like enamored and you're enthralled. You're like, wow, you know, I want to be like that guy. So sure enough, I started looking online, and at the time the MT-09 was a really, really popular bike. It was a great middle motorcycle for people that just want to cruise around, and also anybody that wants to throw a couple parts on it could turn it into a performance bike and really ride it. And so I walked myself into the Ride Now dealership and Unfortunately, the only MT-09 that they had was hit by a forklift, and
God, what a waste.
Front two forks bent inward, or outward, I mean. So yeah, unfortunately they couldn't sell it to me. So luckily for Greg over at Ducati Austin, I waltzed right on next door to his shop, and I said, hey Greg, I'm back, and I want to go faster. And so lucky for me and him, they had a 2021 Monster 937 Plus that was previously reserved by another purchaser. He had put a deposit down and decided to get the Termi exhaust and up map for it prior to completing the finance and purchasing agreement. And so unfortunately he wasn't able to get approved for financing, but fortunately for me, I was able to then pick up the bike already done the way I'd probably wanted it.
Oh, and, hell yeah.
I was able to just literally again have it delivered to my home from the Ducati Austin dealership. So that's how I started on that journey, and that bike has a lot of history, and I'm sure we can segment another video just for that whole story.
Let's just say that bike has attracted vandal after vandal, which I think is super strange. You know, I've owned bikes in Minneapolis, I've owned bikes in Baltimore, I've owned bikes in Austin. I've never had any of my bikes vandalized. And you've had it like 3 times.
3 times that motorcycle's been vandalized. Just for a brief synopsis, I caught my neighbor keying it 3 days after I took delivery. There were some people that were breaking into vehicles one weekend, and they tried to steal the exhaust off of it, but realized they didn't have the spring tension tool, so they took my heat shield off instead and stole that.
Oh, tight.
And then a 3rd time I came in for a ride, and apparently a neighbor didn't appreciate it and decided to walk up and cut my wiring harness with a pair of scissors. So.
Dude, nothing would make me want to grab my gun and go find this person and not necessarily kill them, but maybe beat them with my gun, because I would be so pissed. Like, you're such an asshole if you fucking cut someone's wiring harness. Like, that is some demonic shit.
Yeah, it just goes to show that in this day and age, it doesn't matter if you live in an affluent neighborhood or a not so affluent one. Like, it doesn't matter what crowd you're around, it doesn't matter how many master's degrees they have or where they graduated from. People are just gonna act out if they feel like they want to act out, and really the only thing you can do is just remove the opportunity for them to damage your stuff. So
dude, we are here. Let's see, there is somewhere to park. Oh, we can park right here. Dude, Kevin, we're at our destination, and my hands are fucking freezing, and I wish I had handlebar warmers right now, but oh well.
You know what, we should do a video installing handlebar warmers on the 701.
Yeah, probably, right?
When did you install these?
When Jake and I did the full system and the flash and the whole Rottweiler performance jammer. But it made such a big difference.
It does. And I never realized, like, because it's not like a car. Like, you buy a car, and that's usually it. If you want to do much to it, you know, you go and buy, like, performance parts for it. But with a motorcycle, it's, like, almost necessary. You get the bike, and you want to do a flash for it. You really want to get the performance out of that engine and whatnot. And it makes a world of a difference. I couldn't believe my eyes and the feel when I got my Scrambler flashed. I was just like, holy crap, it's a whole new bike. It's so different.
I know. I'm interested, if you'll let me, maybe sometime I could ride your Scrambler, because I distinctly remember being on the highway on my Scrambler and being like, this isn't enough.
Yeah.
This is like, I was like, and then the wind's blowing and I'm like trying to pass somebody, but it is Texas, so you're going 90 and you're trying to pass somebody, so it's like a little bit different. But I remember that switch happened and I was done, and I was gonna go get another XSR 900, which would be stupid to have 2 of those, but that's how much I love that bike. And then I walked out with the R9T.
Oh man, but that's awesome. I love your R9T, honestly. So yeah, anytime you want to take the Scrambler out, just let me know.
Sick, dude. Thanks for joining me, and let's go eat some rad Japanese comfort food.
Yeah.